Typically, once again, I'm with Industrial Cleaning Equipment and Supply, Dan Swede. We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we do have service trucks on the road, so if you ever need any assistance or warranty repair or anything on the machine, we can come down and take care of it down here whenever you bring it up. We also manufacture chemicals, so in case anybody needs any degreaser, cleaners, floor soaps, truck wash, we've been around for over 45 years now altogether. The original owner retired about 10 years ago, so there's some new ownership, but technically, we've been around a long time. And we do Walmart contracts for all their floor care equipment, waste management. So this is a really diverse automatic floor scrubber. It can do everything from a Walmart floor to a mechanic shop. So it's definitely one of the best. A little bit about NSS. They've been around over 100 years now. They just turned 100 years, I believe, this year or last year. So it's a very, good company with a lot of support. They're there in order to, assist you as needed. And obviously, if you get all the kinks out of it after that length of time. The machine you got is a 3330, which is a 33-inch walk-behind auto scrubber. It does have variable speed, so you can adjust the speed forward and also a reverse, so it actually will very, very easy to maneuver. Zero turn, they turn on a dime. The drive system actually have the gear and sprocket type, so it's a real industrial grade application. Yeah, I can give you the information on the machine. I don't know if I have.
If you have
enough, maybe one per table.
I could make copies of it.
Okay.
If you have.
Actually, that's in my car.
No problem. We'll get it out.
They have designed it to make it very easy to access the batteries. With a flip-up 33-gallon recovery tank on there. It's a horizontal tank, and the reason it's horizontal is because anytime you clean with degreaser, then everything in add vacuum and agitation, you're going to get foam. So the foam is a critical aspect that you really got to control on the machine. And with you defoamer in the waste tank, the defoamer will help to control the foam buildup. Anytime foam gets in there, what it can do is that if it gets to the top of the tank, the liquid will fill, and there's an auto shut off for the liquid to prevent water from getting into the vacuum motor. The problem is the foam can get through that. Hydro-Tek also has a foam filter on the top, so they do a lot in a little percolator design. So, well engineered for the foam itself. So it tries to give you an advantage, but do take measures like defoamer and everything. Every time you do empty the tank, you refill it with a defoamer. You got a variation of brushes and pad drivers you can put on the machine itself. A couple of you saw how easy it was to change a pad driver and the brush. We'll demo that after the video, and you'll see it on the video also. You do want to clean and maintain it just to keep it from odor from building up and any kind of algae, so it's easy to clean. There is a visible solution gauge on the outside. It's a clear hose that'll actually show you how much cleaning solution is in the tank. Traditionally, it depends on your dilution ratio. It's a 30-gallon solution tank, so you would do all your math based on 30 gallons if you're doing a full fill at the time. And other applications, the vacuum motor is very easy to change and service. It's needed when you open up the lid, you'll see that it's right there and it's easy to come off. It even has spade adapters that allow you to unplug it and put it in. So it's really designed for very, very easy service and maintenance. Scott, these units have a curved squeegee. It's a 38-inch squeegee. The machine's a 33-inch, so you've got enough overlay in order to be able to, when you're doing your turns and everything. It's also a breakaway squeegee, so what you don't want to do is you don't want to over-tighten the squeegee wing nuts on them, or thumb nuts, because you do want that ability for it to, if it does impact something, if you want it to be able to break away, it is designed to do that. There's an adjustment on that to do a fine control, relatively easy to change a squeegees when needed. The pad driver or the brushes in your case also are very easy to change, and it's got one lock mechanism that you basically hold the brushes in place, and like I said, it takes you 5 seconds to change a set of brushes, at least per side. And on the top of the machine too, if you have to go through small doors where you have to take the squeegee off, there's actually a holder on top of the unit, kind of in the center for the rear, where you actually have a holder that looks like a cup holder. That's actually designed where you can flip the squeegee upside down and put that in where the vacuum hose attachment goes. And that way you can keep it on there, you're not trying to hold it and grab it and get through doorways. It's a nice way to store that. And if you ever needed any additional like vacuum hoses or wet vac type floor tools, there's a place where the inside where the solution tank is, you normally can roll up some hose and put it on that. The skirts actually are easy to, with no tools at all, you're able to open both side skirts on them and to access, the pad drivers or the brushes. And you can pull the skirts off completely if needed, especially if you're going through another small door where you might not have the clearance to get through with them on there. It's a 36-volt system with 6 6-volt batteries. So typically your battery charger is already mounted on the machine, so anywhere in the facility that you end up needing to recharge a unit instead of having to drag it back to a remote battery station, you can have that charged where it is. That's a nice feature. Everything's got meters indicating your battery life. It's got an hour meter, which give you any kind of maintenance requirements needed.
You said so you can just plug it into any wall?
Any 110 outlet, 15 amp, yep. So that's a great feature on that. Everything is more mechanical on this. When it comes to mechanical lift for the squeegee, mechanical drop for the brushes and the pad, and actually pad pressure or brush pressure is adjustable on that. So typically it eliminates a lot of electronic solenoids and different things that can go wrong, computer panels. It's something that's real and industrial, like a mechanic shop or heavy duty facility should have. So it is really a lot easier, and you can get more years out of it, or at least more maintenance-free years hopefully out of that system. They do have 2 3/4 horsepower drive motors on there, permanent magnetic drive motors, so they're heavy duty 36-volt drive motors, extremely heavy duty on that. Half horsepower, that would be a brush drive motor, no, I'm sorry. The drive motor that actually propels the machine is a half horsepower, also 36 volt. So typically it's really designed to give you enough runtime. Typically on a unobstructed area you can get about 32,000 square feet covered per hour. If it's obstructed where you got to get around a lot of stuff, you're going to be down to about 16,000 square feet. Odds are you can probably be right in between there, somewhere in the 24,000 square foot range. Battery should run roughly 3.5 to 4 hours of runtime on that. The wet acid battery, so that is the biggest maintenance item on the equipment. Is you definitely got to always check your battery water, according to the maintenance schedule, and just in general, because that's going to be the one thing that can cost you, when it comes to that, because you're charging it normally every night, and on any kind of battery and charging system, if it's going to be ran empty, charged full every day, you just got to control that. If you do that, you'll get extended life out of the battery system on there all the time.
Is it better to run the battery dry, or it doesn't matter?
No, it's best to. What do you mean by? Oh, you mean empty? No, you can just charge it every night if you need to. It's got an automatic, technically like a triple charger. It's going to adjust and take what it needs and shut down when it's done.
So it's what I'm asking is, so is it best after you choose to plug it in?
Yeah. In general, if you're going to do that, especially because you might have a day and night shift that might want to use a machine, and it does take. If it's completely, batteries are run dry, you're pretty much going to need a good 8-hour charge on that. It could be less depending on how much you use them. But like I said, if you just kind of religiously just plug it in because the charger's there, you should be okay.
cord on and retractable, or it's just not so?
No, it's kind of like a wrap around, it's got a holder for the cord itself. The housing's got a 10-year warranty. It's a roto-molded plastic, kind of like what they make the plastic 55-gallon drum, so extremely, extremely durable. One of the better warranties in the business when it comes to the tanks and anything roto-molded on there.
What's the
And
warranty on these?
Actually, 10 years on the roto-molded parts. I think it's 3 years when it comes to the machine itself.
And you guys
Batteries,
come
I
out to
believe,
the
are 1
facility
year.
and
I'm sorry?
repair it? You guys will come out here and do the repairs for the warranty?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain issues with how long the travel time warranty kicks in.
Okay.
And then we still will do warranty, but we might have to have a travel charge on that at a certain point, and once that expires with the company.
Okay.
Actually, it's in my sales brochure, but it should be 3 years on the machine itself.
Okay.
So 3 years.
And 1 year on, I believe it's 1 year on the batteries.
You still use distilled water on the battery, right?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, whatever you're using conventionally right now for the buses is fine to use in there. It's not a gel battery, or sealed gel battery, so it's a typical 6-volt, deep cycle type battery, and it's just general maintenance on that. We'll take care of it.
We use sealed batteries, so we don't really have.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. Well,
The only buses that we had are that had, we had to add water. They're gone by now. The Optera.
so yeah, it's been. That's good though. I mean, it's best to have the sealed. Well, they're sealed.
So it's
but-
old new technology to us.
Right. Well, because of the fact of the deep cycle and the charging all the time, they do make it where you can access, that. You have sealed batteries, but they're still probably wet acid batteries. They're not the gel battery. The gel are better in general, but, it's just less of a maintenance situation. But these, you have to be able to access them because of the fact that you're charging, every day on it. But they're easy enough to service. I mean, we opened it up, we'll go out back and we'll be able to open it up and you can see full access to everything inside the battery compartment. And that it shouldn't be much of an effort to keep an eye on that.
All right.
Any other questions?
Can the battery use faucet water or from an overhead hose?
You should be able to do that, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you don't need distilled water. I mean, it probably would be preferred if you could, but really not necessary. You're talking about continually needing a little bit of maintenance on that.
I use bottled water.
So every year you have to replace the battery?
No. The battery's a warranty for the year. It depends on your maintenance and how you use them. They can give you years of service, but it's based on basically, that's the industry standard for the batteries. Now, if you ever had to replace them, and if you have a contract with a battery supplier like Benka, American Battery or something, and if they can extend that somehow, in the future, as long as they're the same series battery, they're basically usable at that point. And most of the battery warranty would be taken care of locally to the battery company.
How about your motor? How long you guarantee your motor?
I'm sorry?
Your motor, how long you guarantee it?
3 years.
3 years?
They're real industrial grade. I mean, I used to be in the concrete cutting and core drilling industry years ago as a mechanic, and when I went to their factory in Ohio, they had these vacuum motors that were humongous, like 15, 18 amp type motors. I really thought they manufactured big, huge core drill motors that would cut a 36-inch hole through concrete. When I asked them, I go, no, and they told me it was a vacuum motor because they've been around 100 years. They still have their original technology. And they made the vacuum motors for Hoover in the beginning, like 80, 100 years ago. So, I mean, they do have some real extreme heavy duty, like I said, with their brush motors and chain drive transmission system for the drive motor. I mean, it's real commercial grade. I mean, I definitely think they're the best out of all the ones we service and maintain over the years. Especially with the Walmarts, are pretty tough on equipment and the waste management and other facilities. And we got them in mechanic shops, we got them at, just dealerships. They do hold up extremely well. I mean, I won't want to put anything else in here, put it that way.
Do you have parts for replacement?
Yeah, we stock a lot of parts. There's some warranty, way we have to do the warranty when it comes to RTAs and the different application. But we take care of that. We deal with, I don't know, maybe 100 units out there, under contract with all the different facilities.
The reason I ask you because you got 3 different type of motors. One a dry motor, brush dry for the brush, for the dry, and for the vacuum.
Yeah. No, we're with pretty good inventory. And especially now with another 8 active machines out there, that's fine. I mean, we're a substantial company. If we need to take care of, we
So I
give.
mean, if you take the screw, you bring another one in.
That is something I gotta discuss with the owner. A lot of times if we need to with Walmart, they do a little like, a rental agreement. There might be something when it comes to a loaner unit. If not, a lot of times our guys can service you. If it's a basic like back motor or something, basic, most of the time we'll service you right here in the shop.
What type of solution you use here? So you got solution control.
Typically, a lot of our clients are using a product we manufacture called Grand Slam degreaser. It's a very, very industrial grade, something that's past the time with like waste management, garbage trucks, shop floors, other facilities, and it's by far the best. I haven't seen anything clean anywhere near that, and I do have a sample of that with me too.
Because we use our soap over here, degreasing soap.
Mhm.
We got a big tank where we use our offshore, we put that
Oh,
soap
well,
in.
since you got 2 units, if we can get the extra set of brushes, maybe we can set one up with your degreaser and put the other one with ours and just do a side-by-side comparison.
No, not just to compare only, but I mean, the availability of the solution, or the degree.
I mean, typically, obviously, if you got yours, you're gonna use whatever you have right now.
Yeah, we have no control over it.
I mean, we could probably get in the bidding cycle and see if we can get in there.
We do that, yeah.
I still get into our master answers where our degreaser was always top of the line for their truck wash and other things that they were using, an engine degreaser. And then they went to a sheltered program, so we weren't allowed to sell to them there, again, directly. But every year they bid Grand Slam, and then they get low bid from stuff that is diluted and nowhere near what we offer.
Are we always gonna be able to do 1,557 feet?
You normally should be able to. I mean, typically depends on the obstructed